Mm-hmm. Hi, folks. Nick Tucker here with the Historical Fencing Guild. Before we get the show on the road this Friday the 13th, we've got to thank a couple folks. First and foremost, a huge shout out to our sponsor, IndieCD.org, the Independent Creator Directory, your one-stop shop for the best and the brightest authors, musicians, music makers. Basically, if you need to get your dream going, they are the people to talk to. This is way too high. All righty. Nice. We're also made possible by the affiliate link over at woodensource.com. Please use this anytime you purchase anything from Purple Heart Armory. I get a tiny percentage of what they do, and more importantly, Christian Dorst and others realize that my voice matters when it comes to making requests on you all's behalf. So please support that. We are also made possible by sales of my books, The Simple Sword, The Fighting Axe, and The Simple Spear, all part of the Historical Fencing Guild's proud tradition of providing simple, easy to read, plain English explanation on the finer art of swordsmanship. Now, without further ado, I want to put a bit of love towards the list of names: Off in the Woods, Frog G, Ronald Rain, Belated Thesis, Brian K. Morris, Cindy Kep, and Steve Augusto, the patrons who actually pay to help me keep the lights on and afford new training equipment, lights, things like that. You guys are why I can afford and I'm able to maintain facilities to train people who desperately need it. Many times, due to the nature of the students that I work with, I cannot televise, record, or share what they do. This is because of many of them come from backgrounds where they have been abused or threatened, and they don't feel safe or comfortable having their activities discussed too in depth or shown online. But really, thank you so much, because it does help. And as we enter fall, we're in fall right now. The weather's a little dicey. We're working on new things with folks, recovering from that initial nasty flu outbreak. These people let me afford to get the gear that they need and to purchase things. I have things coming to review on your behalf. So let's get into today's concept. Today is going to be a very special day while I let the commenters fill in. And hey, Thesis, happy Friday, Sword Family. Looks like it's just you and me, buddy, but that's okay. I have planned something special because you guys don't know it, despite all these shenanigans and everything that's gone kind of hinky today. Friday the 13th is one of my favorite days of the year. I've always considered it a second Halloween. So I tend to eat fun things, watch fun films, do fun things. And while my good service to a few people who need help did book up a lot of that today, it also made possible my mood to talk about what we're talking about. And it did not stop me from setting up a little special. So today, with basically no one around, I'm going to highlight a few randomly selected monster hunters, and we're going to look at the pros and cons of their equipment to keep things festive for the holiday. Excellent. Always promote. Now, so what I'm going to do, since it sounds like Thesis is abroad, give me a moment, and I will be digging in to... Why is that not there? One moment. We're going to cancel this. We're going to go right here. I'm having mild technical difficulties, so we're going to have to old school this just a bit. But we have the technology to do so. So what we're doing is, I am not trusting my system to bring up my other monitor. There we go. And I am opening this folder, I believe. Let me look. No, not that folder. No, we can go back. Desktop. Here we go. And we have a few. Not all of them made it in. So I have to check this out. Oh, Foxy's being social with the ladies from her book club. Well, I'm glad you're getting a chance to be social. That's very important. Let me see if I can find where the missing images went. And if not, we'll deal with what we have. All right. Anyway, what I did, and if I can't find this, I will have to go elsewhere, which I am more than comfortable doing. It will just be annoying. Okay, it's not going to be there. Fine. Let's go back. Here we are. I'm going to open this, close that, and it should. Very nice. Very nice. We can work with this. Sorry about that. We had a bit of technical difficulty, or it should. Now, okay. Ran into a random relative that I didn't recognize, so I'm visiting. Well, I'm glad you're having a wonderful time. We are going to start off our list of a few of some of my favorite monster hunters. And what happened is it put them alphabetical with a classic monster hunter. Well, a modern classic. And we're going to talk about her equipment and go from there. So let me see. Many of these are not terribly well equipped for what I am trying to do, but that makes it all the more interesting. We have Alice. Yeah, we're starting with Alice from the Resident Evil series. I'm starting with her for two reasons. One, I absolutely adore the first few movies of this series. A couple of the later ones are a little less my favorite, but 1 and 2 certainly are incredible. Now, the usual combatants, monsters that she threats are typically zombies, zombified dogs, other animals, and then your basic mutated, freakishly large, nigh unkillable things. And as we go through, we see the start of an evolution of her gear, wherein she comes in the dress she found handy and the weapons she acquired. And so I can't really hold her early wedding cocktail dress with a mini skirt against her much, because that was a forced situation. Those were the only clothes handed. But, and it's like, oh boy, yep, we're starting right with Mila all the way through. Now we get into your classic tech wear. And yes, yeah, we have to separate ourselves from the super powered elements, in that many of these characters seem allergic to body coverage. Now, I will grant some of it to Mila, in that Mila, we don't need this. I need that to go away. How do I get that to go away? Anyway, there we go. He'll take a 6-pack of Mila. Who wouldn't? But she is one of my favorite actors, and Alice is a great character when written properly. But you can't hold Resident Evil 1 against her. Resident Evil 2, she seems to go to this street tech punk. It's kind of a fun outfit. Lots of holsters, lots of carry, but no bite defense, no real I mean, barely any abrasion resistance. This is not going to help you fight zombies. It will keep you mobile and apparently keeps her guns in place whilst she's flitting about doing acrobatics. The funnest one is probably uh, your Duster Desert Mad Max Mila, number 3, in that she has some sun protection, she has some dust protection, she has much more moderate weaponry, which I think having one or two weapon systems that are reliable are better than having no weapons. Having multiple weapon systems with multiple ammunitions you have to keep track of, lack of reliability in a lot of things. So she has a lot of body coverage. She still went for the thigh highs with the obvious stuff, but when you're built like Mila, I can see the temptation. Still, again, no body armor. No body armor whatsoever. Then we get to dual wielding, possibly peak Mila, lower left. She has this bizarre, the start of her our corset's body armor. I'm not really going to say that they are, but at least her weapons, again, are kind of focused on her bizarre dual wielding. Nothing wrong with a high power revolver if you're dealing with limited numbers of threats, and theoretically scavenging rounds might not be too difficult. Nor the odd backdraw double shotties that she became fond of. Interesting, not bad. At least she's mostly covered, and her wrist armor. Alice doesn't wear body armor because she has amazing plot armor. You're not wrong in that. I will tell you the secret to these movies. If she wakes up naked and confused, it's going to be a good movie. And not for the nudity, but it just seems to be the storytelling point. If not, it's usually not as good. Then we get Umbrella Dominatrix Mila, which at least there is body coverage. I mean, they look like goth boots, but most of her boots are, to her credit, sensible. They have a bit of heel, but not too bad. They're engineering boots, and I'm covering them up, of some sort. This one, I think Wexler just had a pleather fetish or something. I guess, it's better body coverage than any of the others. Let's just assume the fabric is bite resistant in some sort. I really wish I had what she was wearing in ultraviolet, but I didn't find a good picture of that. And then you have the last movie where she's kind of rocking a Sarah Connor, a wasteland post-apocalyptic. Somehow it's like a secondary post-apocalyptic when Brown Mila made more sense post-apocalyptic. At least she's carrying a big honking knife. I respect that. But again, armor and corsetry are not the same thing. And she has even more exposed skin than she had since the first one. Well, no, because her legs are at least covered. But again, no knee pads, no bite resistance, no nothing. I find it tragic. Apparently, heroes are allergic to being able to wear armor. The first movie and the second movie I loved. Really did. Then I didn't like the rest as much. But I have to confess I have not made it through the last movie. But I love Alice as a character. Some of the settings bother me. So this is the start of our monster hunters who may or may not wear enough armor. We may or may not get through this list. I may ask you guys to put some of your favorites to talk about. There's some talk of, well, what if this has been covered by Jill Barup or anyone else? I don't care. Let's go to the next. Now we're getting to a true classic. A patron of the art of destruction. We're talking about our man Ash. Shop smart, shop S smart. Now, in an unfortunate bit, he did have to sever his own arm. But the chainsaw was a delightful addition he uses well. I have expressed in the past that I do not find chainsaws to be particularly clever weapons for anti-personnel use. But Ash seems to carry it oddly well. The double barrel shotty is easier with that configuration because it's a bit tricky to pump a regular shotgun. That makes sense. And he often has a backup double bit axe that he's been known to go through, not counting the numerous scenery based what's on hand kills. I can't really have much beating with Ash. His armor, again, totally insufficient, but at least he's dressed. Those aren't khakis. Those are probably closer to Carhartt pants. So he was disarmed. At least having the saw there came in handy. Yeah, groovy, baby. But he's efficient, he's effective, and he knows how to do what he does best. It's just a matter of figuring out, the mix of day-to-day EDC wear. I still wish Ash had worn more armor, but it makes more sense. You can thank the video game Doom for the chainsaw, says my hubby. Kat, my love, my darling Kat Rothermel, one of my favorite people on the planet. You are actually getting just a touch ahead of it if I can find where it went. Because I actually had Doom Guy on my list, and I downloaded the image, but it put it somewhere it wasn't supposed to. So let me look at something and see if I can't find that and get that where it needs to go. It may not work. So, PNG file. Oh, there is now a new folder that it made for me. So give me just a second. And let me see if anyone else is in here. Okay, we've got a couple candidates that need to be brought over. So give me just a second to do some Windows management. I can shrink that, I think. I hope I can find, I can find that later. I can open that up. Sorry, Kat brought up something really brilliant, and there it goes. Boop. That goes in there, and ironically, that is going to go in there. And we will close that because it brought a folder that I didn't know was there. And thank you. We actually have something to discuss. You're getting a little ahead of that, but you are valid point. Now that, and we are back in business. I would love to critique Ash more, but he really is a civilian. He hasn't been trained in armor. This is another situation. Now, this is an interesting theory. Silver Ogre, one of my beloved patrons at one point anyway, and I understand the situation. Thank you, Silver, for all that you've done. In comics, alignment changes affects body temperature. Males who go evil get chills and put on lots of armor. Women who go evil get hot flashes, causing them to remove more clothes as evil time accrues. That is that may have to go into the annals with the laws of ninja dynamics, where the more ninjas present, the inverse power they all hold until you get to one, where it's a single ninja left from his clan is going to be ultra powerful. That's a good point. But I mean, again, chainsaws are incredibly destructive but remarkably fragile tools. That's why I don't condone them a lot. What was that, Doom? Did you say Doom and we needed chainsaws? Yes. Now, we are not deep-seating the weapons of Doom. But we are looking at the evolution of Doom 1 through a Doom Eternal. And you read that from somebody? Maybe Niven. I'll have to ask that of. I'll have to try to remember that and ask Dan Hollifield. He may know. But all right, Doom is basically Doom guy goes to Mars, fights demons and other things, and it evolves. The original suit is not bad. Let's see. Can I zoom in? Yes, I can. Doom. Oh, hello, some person. Thanks for hopping by. This is not bad. He's got good chest coverage, so he's got at least a chest protection armored plate. He has a helmet. Thank all that is good. Reasonable layout of utilities. He's got knee pads. He has the way his boots look like there's integrated greaves of some point. So they look reinforced. Engineer style boots. This is good armor. Except his forearms have no protection. And his biceps have no protection. This baffles me. Also, the relative softness does provide mobility. But I do find that the chest looks a little exposed. And I'm not sure if that's abs or just ab-plated extra wear. And Johnny, Ash became quite attached to that chainsaw. Yes, he did. Whoa, no spoilers. Here we see exactly what I was talking about. He's wounded because he did not have protection. His pants, he lost his knee protection. His guns protect his arms. Well, in this case, a little bit, but still, and he lost his helmet. What? No, now the pauldrons look a little more believable. There's gaps, but he has mobility. That's not terrible. And the boots aren't terrible. I have no boot problems. That's rare. But I would not want to fight demons in this whole outfit. I don't think it's wise design. This looks a little more futuristic, but again, he's in combat slacks. Combat slacks! Did he shop smart? Shop S smart? Knee pads are for kneeling. Heroes never kneel. Well, sometimes you got to kneel to take better aim. Again, we've got shoulders, great shoulders. I'm not sure what these tubes are for. It looks like it would receive the helmet, but no helmet. The pouches are doubling as a bit of kidney protection, it looks like. A little hard to tell. But, the combat slacks. Now we're getting somewhere that really, this screams 80s gorilla. Camouflage combat slacks. Looks like football armor guards. That's still not terrible. Gone for the fingerless gloves. Get better trigger action. Combat slacks was my band name in high school. No, not really. Although that would be a great band name. This has a very Contra feel, but he's wearing a helmet, and his helmet has a large area of vision. Rebreathers, that's not bad. Let's keep on trucking. Now we're getting into full, hi, I'm not Master Chief. But full body protection. You're fighting things that spit out acid, blood, and whatever. We've got greaves. I'm a little concerned about ankle mobility with the way the covers are. But they may be articulated enough to give good motion. I'm not sure. But look, the joints are reasonable. The pauldrons are fairly reasonable. It looks like he's got a full suit, articulation. I can't complain about this. This makes me happy. This looks like Spartan 0.5. We can work with this. Why did he lose his bicep protection? Why did he downgrade his body armor? I mean, the knees are better. The shoes look like combat Crocs. This is why you don't let fashion designers in the army. In the army. Oh, will you stop? I want to talk about you. But I need to go because it's such a downgrade. Hello there, Cindy Kep. We are going over some famous monster hunters and their gear. I've acquired a small list, and we're talking about It's Coming Thesis. Now, and before you ask, yes, I will do cartoon version, but not in this one. I think that requires a whole different thing. Maybe there were steroids in the med kits. Oh, God. Oh, God. Steroids and methamphetamines. Okay. That does explain a lot, but yeah. It's Doom. He had to bring out the gun show. Just hope nothing, bites where he can bleed out or, cause shock or trauma. And this still, no. Abney Park makes new rocks with Crocs and got new Crocs. Yes, folks. This is a little cursed. It's like they found decent armor. They got there. And then they did that. And he does, two cats made a valid point. He does look a little more roided, a little more thick. Like, yeah, let's go. I'd love to see a version of Doom Guy that's got like the middle-aged pot belly. I think that would be amusing. But this is great. A couple of these feel serviceable. But this, it's so close. It's just like armor the arms and everything's armored up again. Alrighty. Now we're getting to my boy. Sorry about the low quality. Finding an image that showed what he was wearing and equipped with in the movie Van Helsing. This is, to be clear, this is Gabriel Van Helsing, Hugh Jackman's Van Helsing, not several other Van Helsing versions. And we may at some point talk about that. I find it amusing that he's carrying a variety of stylized weapons, including a pneumatic crossbow. Now that's just a bigot. Boo this man. I expect lycanthrope hate from you, but I do find the whirling pizza cutters of death amusing. Now, onto the body, the armor. Decent boots again. Justifiable. Nothing wrong with going, Hugh Jackman. Okay, Hugh Jackman is a very pretty man, and I am comfortable with this. He is heavily inspired in his outfit from another classic monster hunter that we will talk about later in some detail. Not a lot of detail, but some. However, heavy leather trench, not bad for minor cut resistance, not a lot of impact resistance. As I recall, he had a chain woven shirt in there, if I remember right, or some kind. So he has some moderate chest protection, boots. He wears a hat that blocks out the sun. Very good. I have no pulp. Gruel called. He wants his glaive back. Bonus points for the quotation marks around glaive. And see, you thought that was a pick of Vampire Hunter D. That's exactly where we're going to go a little later. We will talk about Vampire Hunter D. But again, I've just learned a new thing that mildly bothers me. Combat slacks. Why are there combat slacks? And they always end up getting torn. It's like heroes can have light grazing thigh wounds, which is not, and D is way better. If you work at night, why do you need a hat to block out the sunlight? Well, I think part of it is to keep his eyes forever attuned to darkness. He has high light sensitivity, so the hat is so that when he goes out, he's not uncomfortable, and it helps in the rain. It's to pull over your eyes, too. Yeah, so I can see that. But there's a whole shtick about the hat where if you make it through the video game without losing his hat, because it can fall off, you get something. Sleep at dawn. See, now we're going back to Vampire Hunter D, who does it better. We could do a who wore it better real easy. Hold on, I jumped ahead. Now, my man Hellboy. I love Hellboy. But he does not love armor. Are we seeing a trend here? For some reason, large numbers of characters don't wear armor. I love his hand, the right hand of justice or something. I'll think of a hat like Kung Lao. Absolutely. Hellboy is armor. And that's a good point, too. He basically regenerates everything. But I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. Nope. I know, but I'm not going to say that. Still, it's a great iconic design, at least. And I love that he wears, in the comics, one glove over the hand holding the Samaritan. That's nice. His little split boots are pretty cool. I wish I had a better version, because he's at least wearing leatherized or reinforced. That's I'm fireproof and you aren't Sparky. Yes. Oh, hi, Alec. Thank you. Like the new glasses. Thank you very much. These are my broadcast only glasses. They are set like the lower half of my bifocals. So they work really well and they have blue protection. I appreciate that. Hellboy is another character who's basically better Wolverine. I said it. I'm going to stand by it. Hellboy is better Wolverine. And Forces of Darkness. Now we get to my girl Ruby. I love Ruby. This is not a great picture of Ruby, but the fact that she carries a scythe and that turns into a sniper rifle, it's amusing. However, again, corsetry is not armor. I like her little vambraces, but she's wearing no gloves, which baffles me given her fighting style. And then, the boots are great. Again, reasonable heel, good height, good ankle protection. But there is something about thighs that, real heroes don't need to protect their thighs, apparently. Now, Ruby falls under the category of a yes. Scythe is one of the most ridiculous weapons. Ron Perlman is Hellboy. We're just going to do that. I will do a video fairly soon discussing the Scythe again, because several years ago I did a video on the Scythe. It's time for a follow-up. Can I make it go? Yes. Do I like to? No. Is a war scythe like a reaping scythe? Not really. But it's amusing. She uses it in a shield way, at points. She almost uses it more as a shield and an anchoring point than she does a lot of her attacks, because it's such a costly close-in attack. But I am a sucker for gun-toting Red Riding Hood clones. It's just a trope I love. Yeah, there's tragedy. There's tragedy, and a lot of tragedy comes out of Twitter. But now we're going to talk about the ultimate ineffectual armor. The Black Knight. I'm not sure what he was wearing, but it didn't do much to stop Excalibur. Now, granted, Excalibur was involved, and Excalibur was, magically sharp and a few other things. I almost wish I could tap my buddy Glenn to get into this conversation, but we'd never get out of it. The Black Knight, his helmet provides good head protection against most weapons. And if we look at King Arthur, this is great gear. I love this. Chain hallbrick, chain shirt, reinforced at the elbows, solid gaunts, chain skirting. This is a great outfit. Arthur's amazing. He's not a monster hunter, but I had to throw that in there just to get things. Now, we were talking about D. Yeah, Excalibur is basically a Vorpal sword. D is an interesting character because he too runs with the same pattern as Hellboy and others, where he can regenerate pretty well. And oddly, his clothing tends to regenerate with him. This is interesting. And we see the evolution of his 1985 film design and his 2000 film design. Nee! Nee! Yes, see, the ultimate defense is shrubbery. But D is an athletic, dexterity-based build. He's incredibly strong, and he has a lot of psychic attacks. But as you can see, he is very much conditioned to deal with the sun. I'm shocked that D doesn't have a hood, though. He has the super collar. It looks great. I love the original triangle motif of the 85 version. It's I don't know if that's a unitard or what that is. Oh, yes, we have to talk about the Amano illustrations, but that almost deals with it. Those are fabulous enough that I actually have a wall scroll downstairs of one of the Amano D illustrations. Fantastic. And I don't know if I got that in this folder or not. But I love the comparison because later D is much darker. He has this odd skull belt buckle thing. The belt, the sword, how he wears his sword baffles me. In both these cases, because it's strapped, but somehow through the cloak without entangling the cloak. That defies physics. Magic or magnetism must be involved. I'm not sure about the spiny bits on the end of his shoulders, nor on his arm. I don't see the tactical advantage in those. But the barehanded, I will never complain about D's lack of glove, because that is a tactical thing to allow him to use his abilities. There is nothing wrong with it. Still, let's go over. Comfortable, low-heeled boots. Looks like at least abrasion-resistant body armor. This is a man who's totally devoted to the dexterity and the fluidity of his actions. Now, having read the novels, I know just how crazy, well built in futuristic, metal woven, crazy spider silk stuff his fabric is. And at least in the 85 version, his cloak was I don't want to say semi-sentient, but he could command it much like Dresden isn't on this list right now, because most of the time Dresden just wore jeans, a t-shirt, and a trench coat that's been enchanted up the wazoo, combined with a shield bracelet and no hat. Harry did not wear a hat. I don't know where they get this hat they keep putting on the covers. Drives me bonkers. But the other thing is Dee's family crest emblem that he uses to mark himself as a Dampiel, a high court vampire. And yes, Johnny sees Dee as a traitor. And I can see his policy as a vampire, that Johnny would see him as a traitor. However, it's been 10,000 years or 100,000 years, something like that. We have to no, it's 10,000 years since a nuclear fallout before the vampires took over. Oh yes, and those rings that collect kinetic energy as he walks or does speed. But I count those more as a weapon than armor for this case, because I'm working really hard not to get into Dee's longsword, because it is a thing of beauty. So, what if we took the best of a Messer, the best of a great sword, and the best of a katana, put them together, and made that thing? And I kind of love it. Is this the last one? No. Oh, this is the last one in the images? Oh, wait, no. How the heck would he draw that? That is a great Dunpeel, Dampier, depending on how you pronounce it. I can't open that link because I can't open that link through StreamYard. So drawing that is a great question. I can see how he gets a hold of it, but I believe magic is involved to push it out. I'm serious, magic and kind of psionic ability. So it's a bit of a thing. Elephant elegantly. Yes, that's true. When he pulls it off, it is beautiful, and the curve gives some level to the draw. I need to watch him draw it in animation again. He's just that pretty. Done fool. It has to be really bendy. Yeah, I've been trying to figure that out, but there's some system weirdness. I don't have Blade Run cuts hand off trying to get it out. There are techniques for drawing great swords like that, Japanese techniques for drawing odachi and things I have seen used, but a lot of it's drawing and actually grabbing it by the spine and doing some other shady things. I will try to find those for this channel because I think they'd be really interesting to review and discuss. And Blood Rain, certainly. But let me see how much detail. I can't get a lot of detail. I do find some of these interesting. There is one more on the list that because it got reshuffled, I have to talk about. If we are talking about the armor of entities that fight monsters, throw it up. Safe. I can see you really enjoying Regansi's arc blades more. Launching the scabbard at your foe is my preference. Now, see, with a straight one, you can actually just do that if you don't get your scabbard back. Some of us like to hold on to our scabbards and use them effectively. But still, for a two-handed sword, I do prefer a shorter weapon blade, simply because I have short, stubby arms. But let's get spicy. If the monsters you're fighting are from outer space, let's talk about this. The only thing I can figure is when ultramarines are grown, built, or whatever, they lose all proportion, and it has to be more of a power suit than armor. It's not necessarily fair. But there was talks of chainsaws, and those who wield chainsaws in combat, you have to talk about the Space Marine. The only irreplaceable scabbard is the one that for Excalibur that Arthur immediately lost. Yes. Well, that should surprise no one. Stilts! Absolutely. And I've seen cosplayers wear these, but the pauldrons provide a challenge for the wearer, because how do you get up and not completely block with this raise? Not just armor, but complete and total replacement and addition of. Well, see, and that's true. The lore gives defense. But as for a standardized human, this is not something you want, despite how many people I know look at it. Oh, the link is for your stream tomorrow. Excellent. He doesn't. And I love that theory. I would enjoy that greatly if it turned out that there's like a chibi dude in the chest, I really would love to find out that there's like a 3-head tall little dude just piloting this whole body armor. That would be delightful. That would make me happy. But like the one from Labyrinth, I get you. But excluding the pauldrons, which are nightmarish, and the chest that limits forward mobility, because not only could you not go up, you can't go forward. And I've actually fought in armor that did not fit. So my first authorization in the SCA was in borrowed armor from uh, my swordmaster, well, my instructor, uh, Dennis Yakus, Aiden McDougall, the Black Hand, and he's much smaller than even I was at the time, and I couldn't bring my arms more forward than this. So I can understand how challenging trying to maintain ranged melee equipment while using armor like this really seems problematic. I mean, the stances hurt my soul as somebody who's done a little bit of firearms training, not much, but excluding that, lots of protection, not enough knee mobility because seeing how that's going to bend isn't going to work. The ankle foot mobility is problematic. Uh, the wrist mobility is incredibly limited, but it's good protection. And there's a helmet, so it has its ups and downs. Let me see. Do I have any other armor in this list that got lost? Nope. So that is the set of armor that I wanted to break down. I got some of them for you, not all, but I think it provided a good quantity. Now let's talk. We want to talk long weapons. I am baffled. Well, not baffled. Let me see what we have here. Um, we have options. Now I do have a two-handed sword that I use fairly regularly. Bell-bottom combat slacks. Yeah. Oh god. Now, I'm sorry. You said bell-bottom combat slacks, and Kat is a incredible artist, and she is an incredible art instructor. And my brain put those together and generated a mechanized version of Bob Ross. But how would I make Bob Ross armor? I may, you know what? I'm going to write that down, and maybe next chance I get to do art time with Nick proper, I will have to do Bob Ross armor. Because I think that's delightful. And I do like, I love understanding reversible polyester combat slacks that go up to you. Happy little crushed skulls. Oh, Kat, I'm seeing a whole new side of you, and I love it even more. Bob Ross armor. It's all made from the helmet is. The helmet has to be like a Spaceballs style helmet. You know what? I'm going to take a chance. Make him a risk. Get messy. Let's see what we can do about this. First, we're going to see if I can get this to fire up. Hi, folks. Pardon my vertical format. I am back dealing with my system having crashed under me. So now we're mobile. See, that's what it did. It just took an absolute stink in front of me. I am sorry for that inconvenience, but that's not going to stop our broadcast. I just have to reset. You see, every once in a while, I plug my tablet back in, and it causes my computer to have an absolute mental hemorrhage. So I do apologize for that. Let's talk. Shall we go mobile? Let's go mobile. We are mobile. Yeah, I've got decent coverage. Now, we have a lot of weapons we could discuss for the purpose of monster hunting, but everybody talks the side. Now, longer time viewers know I made, let me see if I can get this here. Here we go. A boffer psi for you guys to test. So I could test techniques. I could do live videos of that, but that's kind of dull. So I'm going to go on a proper adventure. As my computer has crashed, I'm going to go through my house downstairs. No one can see. It's all pointed at me. Well, I'm live streaming, going down to show them something else because it crashed. Anyway, so you guys are getting a special semi-tour. You cannot see in front of me because my house is an absolute disaster because the basement exploded and flooded, and I'm still wearing the wrong glasses, so I can only see comfortably about from me to you. But I'm going to go the wrong way around, knock some things over. Yes. And we will see something. If I step in here, where did it go? I should have, and I realized I am looking for something without my proper glasses on, a challenge. I'm in my incredibly dusty garage where I cannot spend a lot of time, or else I will be incredibly ill, looking for where I put my psi. Because I have a full-size live steel psi. Here's my outside weapon collection that you guys don't usually get to see. Pardon the chicken dust. Ah, there it is. Ha-ha. This, and I will be doing a whole video on it, is an actual, sorry, the lighting is terrible because this wasn't planned. Aside, let me see if I can't prop this very wrong. That wasn't a good idea at all. But really, I'm that funny. Anyway, as you might be able to see, it's got about a 2-foot blade, about 5 foot. This experiment is not going well. So, Brock! Anyway, you guys didn't hear any chickens. I don't know what chickens you're talking about. There are no chickens. Anyway, I do have a live psi that I will be demonstrating for you guys in the fairly near future. But unfortunately, the chickens are far too rowdy right now for me. Yes, I know. I came out and I didn't give you a treat. I'm sorry. They're still problematic, but that's okay. Very soon, as my health and situation improves, I will be cleaning up downstairs so that I could do some better up-close videos, and we could talk about what's going on. There we go. That was not pleasant. But we won't let the show go down because, guys, I promise that you guys will have... Hey, Dusty, come on. I'm going to turn the lights out. Come on, Dusty. Oh, Boots. Yeah, y'all can get stuck in the dark, and it's not going to be my fault because I've told you guys you don't want to go down there. Anyway, I was going to show you the Vampire Hunter D wall scroll. You'll have to wait another time for that. My screen door to keep my cats out. It's been an adventure. My whole life is rather jumbled messily, but I'm making it work. And that's what we do here. We find ways to adapt and we make things work. Let's see. Let's see. I lost track of let's see. That's fine. Mobile Suit Talker 08X Go. Roads go on forever over rock over tree. Chickens. Yes, I have chickens. At least you can go mobile. My camera is hooked straight to my desktop. If I want to do something, it reminds people I'm doing it, which means I have to grab a couple things. My camera, this is the camera that I use to record you guys, because it has a better resolution than the one that came with my computer. And my computer took that much time to boot back up after having its brain fart. It's Friday the 13th. You might want to think about it. Of course it is. And everything has gone catastrophically wrong. But would that deaden my mood? I'm not going to let mishaps deaden my mood. Do you chase chickens for exercise? I do a lot of things for exercise. Usually my son handles the chickens, but there is no chicken. We bend ourselves. Yes. Some of my pets poop breakfast. It's just what they do. It's part of the fun of it all. And, keeping them fed is part of what I get to do with, the money that I make. But that's separate. That's where my art money goes, is to feeding pets, because I love my pets. And I like entertaining you guys. I know today didn't go like we planned. And I could go through the effort of swapping back out, but most of you had access to the Cursed Armor link. There's only 3 pictures in there. Why don't you guys throw in your favorite Monster Hunters you want me to review, and I'll review them next week, plus any monster hunting equipment. Just jam that area with anything that you want to see me discuss, and we'll talk about its use, its applications. I'm kind of glad that I had things go boink, because it encouraged me to go mobile with some things. And I'm glad that I did, because it reminded me I could do it. Now, doing those stairs that fast is something of a feat. I wouldn't have been able to do that. And it did sort of kick my butt a bit. If anyone asks, Ricky Gervais was visiting after a Stardust reunion. Absolutely. That was all special effects. As you can see, nothing around me is real. Who would do a stream like that? But I do hope you guys have found tonight's rather misaligned program entertaining. I hope you like the content. If you want me to be able to maybe get a tablet so I could draw armor designs for you that doesn't randomly crash my computer, consider becoming a Patreon member. You got to see a lot of my dusty gear because I've had a lot of students not make it out. I'm fixing that. And as they age, I have several people who want to be students. They're just not over 18, so I can't work with them. However, we can keep this show going and keep everybody amused. Please like this on whatever venue you're watching it, and please subscribe so that you get more of whatever this has become. Professional broadcasting at its finest. Remember, if you want to learn my techniques for sword fighting ahead of the monsters, you can always purchase the Simple Sword, the Fighting Axe, and the Simple Spear. And if you get them digitally, you get them immediately. I recommend getting them in paperback, because there is a big movement to get rid of instructional books that have the ability to instruct people in things that may be considered less appropriate, such as martial arts novels, certain repair novels, martial arts manuals, certain repair things. This knowledge is being lost, and I hope I hope to preserve it and keep creating it to the best of my ability. But guys, yes, exactly. Physical media is harder to censor, and I love that. My stuff always has some flaws in it because that way you know it's from me. If they ever put out something that was crystal perfect, you know that something is wrong. But that's why I keep it. And the other nice thing is all that physical media does stay when the power goes out. I'm a rather fan of having access to knowledge and abilities in case of cataclysm. Now that I'm not on my computer as much, and I am moving my focus around, I have to put on my everyday glasses because I'm starting to get a headache from playing the game. Now, in the event you actually enjoyed this, please hit like on this video because Lord knows I'm putting my heart and soul on it. And share this around to the people who you think have enough sense of humor to appreciate my odd presentation style. We will talk about, I think next week we'll talk about my preferred, if I had to engage in monster hunting, what kind of gear I would look for me, and then for people of more standard health. We will happily go over anything you guys throw in that folder, and we'll keep on trucking as we make our way out towards the next adventure. So with that, guys, please keep your guard up, do your drills, be kind to yourself and each other, and as always, thank you for supporting your local sword master. I will see you on this channel next week at 8 p.m. and on my other network, the Nicholas Tockert channel, for Nevermind the Furthermore at 10 a.m. Eastern. With that, guys, have a great one, and I hope to see you all real soon. Toodles.